it's kind of hard to say how you feel. I mean, I think disbelief is the first sensation you get. And then when you check it on the internet or you turn the television on and it's confirmed, I think the horror of it is just astounding. My youngest daughter called me and she had seen it on the news. And it's just unbelievable that any one family can have so much tragedy and loss in their lives. It's just horrible.
And you have, in common with Bob Geldof, you have 3 daughters.
4 daughters.
4 daughters, so you must have an idea of how he's feeling to lose one of them.
No, I don't think anyone could have any idea of what it must feel like unless you've been through that, unless you've actually experienced it. I can't even begin to put myself in his shoes at all, or Tom's. Our children aren't old enough to know who she is, but hopefully by proxy and by family intervention they'll understand who she was. But it's just hideous.
From what you know of Bob, from what you know of the family, how will they be dealing with this as a family?
Bob's an incredibly strong character. I mean, you couldn't do what he's done in life without being a strong man. And I saw that there were comments from previous interviews with Peaches about when Paula died, and of course Bob made them all go to school the day after she died, because that's the family way of dealing with it. And when this has happened in the past, when this happened with Paula, I had nothing but the utmost respect and admiration for Bob, because he dealt with it with huge, immense dignity, and I'm sure he'll do exactly the same now.
Now, what brought you together for what we know, your partnership, was actually raising a lot of money for people in need. He's dedicated his life to that, but seems to have also had all this tragedy as well.
I think the tragedy and what he's done in life, maybe run on parallel lines, but they have no association with each other, I suppose. Sometimes you can't dictate what fate's got in store for you. And for some bizarre, unknown reason, Bob's had a very ropey ride. And if I have to be absolutely honest about it, I think quite possibly one of the first sensations and first feelings that I would get is, I'm glad it's not me. I've got 4 daughters, and I couldn't even begin to imagine what that feels like, what he's going through, and what he's got to deal with for the rest of his life. His life has forever changed again.
You know Peaches, I know you haven't seen her for a while, but what do you remember of her?
She was great, she was a bouncy, lovely child. I remember them when they were babies, and in fact the last time I saw Paula with them, Paula was walking down the King's Road, and she was like, I don't know, she had baby limpets on her. She had one in her front and one in her back and one in her hand, and she was this kind of earth mother, and that's exactly what Peaches had turned into. It's uncanny. The fact that Peaches posted that photograph of Paula and her together, the day before it happened, and the fact that they embraced this whole motherhood thing so incredibly well after what had been kind of maybe ropey beginnings. They'd completely found their niche in life, and for the tragedy to happen twice, slightly different circumstances, it's just beyond belief.